Welcome back to Scottish Movies in a brand new video. I'm going to be talking today about basically rewatching movies. So I've got a massive movie collection and there's a hell of a lot in it that I've not seen. One of the main reasons of that is how much YouTube I watch. But on top of that is rewatching old films. I was born in 1972. I'm 54, so I grew up watching movies mainly probably in the 80s and 90s, which I absolutely love, and some of them I've seen over and over and over again. And it's a detriment to anything new, basically. And I'm going to go through a little video today, basically. I'm going to be showing you 6 movies for every decade I've been alive, basically, that I've seen over 10 times or more, starting in the 70s and going up to the 2020s. I've got a few honourable mentions as well. Speaking of them, all the movies that I've picked are not your kind of obvious ones. I'm going to talk about some of the obvious ones, but the ones I've picked aren't your kind of obvious ones. Yeah, it'll make sense when I get started. So yeah, I'll get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my movie from the 1970s. First up, honourable mention, and this is one of 2 movies I could probably mention that from the 70s that I've definitely seen over 10 times. I've seen this one probably over 100 times, and is Star Wars, obviously A New Hope in this case, Episode 4. Yeah, I've got the box set here. I've got all these movies on 4K as well. Probably on DVD somewhere as well, and I've got VHSs. So yeah, massive Star Wars fan. But yeah, 1977 Star Wars. I've seen that. Never mind 10 times. I've probably seen it. I want to say 50 times, maybe more than that. Easy over the years. I don't know. I could also put Jaws on that list from obviously 1975. Seen Jaws definitely over 10 times. But the film I'm going to talk about today is from 1979, and it stars Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells. This is basically a time travel movie, which, if you watch this channel for a while, you know it's one of my go-to genres. And it's a film called Time After Time. It's the HMV Premium Edition, number 73. Yeah, this film basically stars Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells. It starts out in London, 1863, where Jack the Ripper's sort of on the loose, killing people. He's played by David Warner, and he basically escapes capture by time travelling to modern day San Francisco. I say modern day of the time, so the 1970s San Francisco. H.G. Wells follows him in his time machine. And yeah, it's a movie about time travel, kind of fishes out of water as well, because you know they're in 100 years in the future kind of thing. And yeah, it's a great film. I've always enjoyed this movie. Also stars Mary Steenburgen from who I know from Back to the Future, primarily Back to the Future 3, another time travel film. But yeah, if you've never seen this film, it's definitely worth checking out. I can't remember when I first saw this. It was definitely probably in the 80s, obviously in the 80s. But I've seen it well over 10 times over the years. I just really enjoy it, and I'm just looking at this now. I kind of want to watch it again now. It's one of them films. So that is Time After Time from the 1970s. Okay, on to the 80s now. Well, growing up in the 80s, I'm a massive 80s movies fan. and there's so many movies that I've seen over and over again. A few to mention, any so many maybe Stallone and Schwarzenegger movies, Commando, Running Man, um, Rocky Four. There's a couple of Stallone movies in there. Definitely, I've seen over 10 times. E.T. Because there's Spaceballs, there's tons, and Back to the Future. Obviously, is probably my second favorite movie of all time, or the trilogy as a whole. I would say, of which two of these movies were 80s movies. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know how many times I've seen Back to the Future again. Like Star Wars, it's definitely up there. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about another 80s movie, which is from 1983, and it stars Matthew Broderick. Speaking of Matthew Broderick, another movie from the 80s I've seen definitely over 10 times, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and that isn't this. Yeah, it stars Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy, and it is War Games. So yeah, this stars, I'll say, Matthew Broderick, and he stars as a character called David, who basically, this is kind of like an early computers movie. It sort of shows what computers can do. And he kind of basically breaks into the defense, the US defense systems, and almost starts World War III. That's kind of the basic plot of it, on what is probably the equivalent of something like a BBC Micro or something. If you know, you know. He's there with his floppy disks and his dial-up modem and everything. But yeah, he goes onto this computer looking for computer games, and finds like your chess and your tic-tac-toe. But he also finds some like global thermonuclear war, of which up against them, what you know what you're going to pick, you want to play. But the game, the computer thinks it's real, and yeah, up against into World War III. I've seen this film again, definitely well over 10 times over the years. Really, really enjoy it. It's one of them that I could just catch a couple of minutes in and just watch it to the end. If it was just on the TV or something, but yeah, I just really, really enjoy it. I think it's quite underrated as well. It's quite a well-known film, but it's quite underrated for me. But yeah, that is War Games. That is my movie for the 1980s. Moving on to the 90s now. Again, this is another decade that I could mention countless movies I've seen over 10 times. A few more, I'm going to show you one in a minute, but a few that I could mention. Demolition Man, starring Stallone. I love that film. Just I want to say guilty pleasure, but not to say it's a bad film, but yeah, I just love it. Star Wars Phantom Menace, 1999. Yeah, seen Phantom Menace tons and tons of times. Been a Star Wars fan. South Park, the movie, Big Longer and Cut. One of my favourite musicals of all time, you could say. Absolutely love that film. Well, the sort of honourable mention I'm going to mention today is Jumanji, starring Robin Williams. Yeah, this is a film, definitely seen it over 10 times. Spawned a couple of sequels in the 2000s, that's what it was, even 2010s, I think, which I do still enjoy. But yeah, this is the original. Some of the special effects look a little ropey nowadays, but it also adds to its charm. It's a great movie about a board game where everything comes alive. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. But yeah, I've seen Jumanji tons and tons of times. But the movie I'm going to speak about from 1991 is another probably underrated movie, really. It is Toy Soldiers. So this is kind of like an action movie. You could say it's kind of Die Hard set in a school. It stars Sean Astin from The Goonies, Will Wheaton, I think was in Star Trek Next Generation, Keith Coogan, who I know from Adventures in Babysitting, in a film called Hiding Out, which is really little known film, also starring John Cryer, but which I won't need in the collection, but it's hard to get hold of. But yeah, Toy Soldiers, about a bunch of school kids that, they're in a kind of a prep school, because, um, and they've all got sort of fathers that are, got money basically, and these terrorists sort of come to take over the school. They want to get some kid out who whose father is, involved with him somehow. I can't remember off the top of my head of the exact plot, but yeah, this is a great action film. I say pretty underrated. Um, and I've just seen it tons, from 1991. I absolutely love this film. I had it on VHS back in the day, and it was one of them you used to get on Sky a lot, and it could just again catch it, sort of a couple of minutes in and just watch it to the end. But yeah, I love it. So that's Toy Soldiers. On to the 2000s now. Now, as I go on, there's been a bit. There's probably less and less films that I've seen. Definitely seen 10 times or over. But these two I could mention. I'm about to mention. Definitely have. Um, I can't think of any other honorable mentions besides Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Yeah, this is a film. I remember seeing this advertised or was it a review in Men's Magazine? What's it called? FHM back in the day. Coming down below if you remember FHM magazine. And he basically talked about Shaun of the Dead, and I remember thinking, what a load of rubbish it's like. Obviously, I heard of Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, zombie movies, but I just thought, oh my god, that just sounds awful. Went to watch it, and yeah, it's classic film. It's great, rom com zom, or whatever they call it. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead, up there with one of the best zombie movies of all time for me, with the comedy as well. And I've seen it well over 10 times, definitely, probably 20, 30 times maybe over the years. But yeah, I love Shaun of the Dead. Well, the film I'm going to talk about, which is my 2000s movie that I've definitely seen over 10 times, it's also from 2004, and it is National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. I could probably add the sequel to this list as well. I think that was in a couple of years later. Definitely seen that over 10 times as well. But this is basically kind of like a treasure hunter, a bit like a sort of an Indiana Jones, but it's he plays Benjamin Gates, and it's just an adventure movie. It's from Disney. It's a lot of fun. They're trying to solve the riddles to sort of find the treasure and everything. And I just really love this film since the moment it come out, the moment I first saw it, and I could just watch it over and over. It's like it's a bit of a modern day Indiana Jones for me. And speaking of Indiana Jones, there's some more films from the 80s I've seen countless times. But yeah, National Treasure and its sequel is my 2000s movie in this list. I don't think this gets enough love. I really don't. It's a great film. Next up for the 2010s, um, a honorable mention is a movie. I've not got the Blu-ray out, but a movie starring No Escape from 2015 with a movie called No Escape, sorry, from 2015, starring Owen Wilson, where he's the guy that gets stuck in a foreign country that sort of the war starts kicking off, and him and his family have to try and escape. Love that film. I don't know what it is about it, but I've definitely seen that over 10 times, and that's from what, the last 10 years or so. And also this one, Spielberg movie, Ready Player One. Fantastic movie. So many pop culture references in this. For someone like me who's again grew up in the 80s and 90s, it's perfect film. And it's great sci-fi film, great action film, great Spielberg film from 2018. So Ready Player One. But the movie that is part of my 6 movies is actually a film starring Justin Timberlake. Never thought I'd say that. From 2011. And also Amanda Siegfried, and it's a film called In Time. I think this is another underrated film. It's not something that immediately comes to mind for the 2000s as a great film. Maybe something like Gladiator, you could say, but yeah, I've not seen Gladiator that much, probably once or twice. But yeah, this film, I really enjoy it. It's like in a world where time has replaced money as the only currency, as it says here, and you can either live forever or basically die trying. So I think if I remember rightly, when the hit 25, the sort of life or something like, I think it's 25, the sort of life starts dwindling down, and every to earn money is basically time. So when he goes to work, he earns time, and there's another few hours on his life basically. And you've got people who are obviously rich that could almost live forever, and it's a great sci-fi movie. I really enjoy it. I think it's just got a hook for me that I don't know, always gravitated to, and it's another one I've definitely seen over 10 times. Another one I could just stick on and watch without thinking about it. Yeah, that's it. Inside, really enjoy it. And before I show you the final movie from the 2020s, now I'll be honest with that movie. I haven't seen it over 10 times, maybe about 5. I struggle to find a film from the last 6 years that I have seen over 10 times. The only sort of honorable mention I'm going to mention is Spider-Man, No Way Home. No Way Home. Was from 2021. Yeah, I've definitely seen this a few times. One of the best Spider-Man movies ever, I think. Obviously, this is one that, spoiler alert, also had the earlier Spider-Mans, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in it as well. And all that multiverse stuff going on. It's a lot of fun. So that was Spider-Man No Way Home. But the movie I want to talk about is from 2020. And this is a film I actually saw on streaming. I think it was Amazon Prime initially, and I got the German Blu-ray of this because I don't think it's had a release over here. There's a film called Palm Springs, starring Andy Samberg, who I'm not that familiar with. J.K. Simmons, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, it says the original Hulu original film, and it's kind of like a Groundhog Day style film. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. It's so much so a streaming film that I went out and found the Blu-ray, a German Blu-ray, and I want it in the collection. And it is one of the few films from the last 6 years that I've definitely seen. Well, I think not 10 times, but maybe at least 5. This guy, he's basically like a Groundhog Day type movie. And Groundhog Day being a 90s film that, again, I've seen over 10 times, another one. But it's things like this I just love, and all the other ones I mentioned is the reason I have such a movie backlog. Simple as that, really. But yeah, that is my list of 6 movies I've seen over 10 times for every basically decade of my life that I've been on this earth, you could say. So yeah, comment down below. What are some of your films you've seen like over 10 times? I'm going to actually make this bit of a tag video for anyone who watches it, wants to make their own video. Has got a YouTube channel, wants to make their own video of 10 films. Not 10 films, sort of 5 films or however many films you want for that you've seen over 10 times. I'm going to tag James Millership, Jimjam Moves in TV, Jamie Powell, and Lisa Loves. I know Lisa likes a good tag video. And yeah, so that is the end of this little video. So yeah, comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon for another video. Bye, guys.